Oh my goodness, this nigga's still talking.
Yo, yo, yo. Welcome to the Just Talking podcast. This is Na. I'm just talking to you today. Man, oh man. In a different space, in a different area, in a different mindset to an extent, you know? Nigga just chilling right now, man. The nigga is just chilling. How's your day been? Alright. I'm asking about you. Alright. Wait. Can y'all hear me? Is my volume levels satisfying you? I think that went lower. Hello. I think that's the highest. All right. I think this is good, right? So how y'all been? Now, I won't lie. When I told y'all I was gonna be doing the Keke Palmer, Jonah Hill, and then what was the last person's fucking? What was the last person's name? I don't even like. Mind you, I don't keep up with celebrities for real. All right, I was talking to somebody else, and we were just chatting, and they were like, "Oh wow, I don't really keep up with celebrities." I was like, "Nah, I don't either." Everything like I hear about dramas, but about their lives and itself, nah, I don't. I don't really get care about them personally. Especially most celebrities, like almost all celebrities. I just feel like I got more shit going on with me. You dig? But I am going to talk about the drama and controversy sometimes because it geeks. It geeks. Like I won't. This whole Keke Palmer joint, it was funny, just because like when I had seen it, it was like in the morning. Like I hadn't been on Twitter the day before, the night before, so I hadn't seen it when it went live. But I seen it when everybody had woken up. Like everybody was for real reacting to it. Like, cause that shit was dangling over everybody on Twitter, for real. Like you could not get away from it. You could not get away from it. It was crazy. And real quick, I'm just going for each situation. I'm just going to lay down as much of the facts that I know. We'll also do maybe show a little bit of additional research for more. But we gonna keep it simple, all right? Nothing crazy. We just want to keep it simple. Real quick, I'm trying to find the last person, but I don't think I got hers. Damn. Well, all right. Well, to get all right. So for the Keke Palmer situation, right? Essentially, this is what happened. I got this article from entertainmentew.com. I don't know what this shit is. On Wednesday, Keke Palmer's boyfriend Darius Jackson started this sparked controversy by criticizing what she a. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. The way this joint is written is kind of crazy to me. Like, and that's what I'm saying. I almost never read the articles because I don't need a, but like, it's just so crazy how a professional article is being read, and it's like on Wednesday, Keke Palmer's boyfriend Darius Jackson sparked controversy by criticizing what she, comma, a grown woman, comma, decided to wear. Like, did you think we didn't know she was a grown woman, or you just emphasizing that because it's so wild? So I already like just from the first sentence, I already know which side this article was coming from. I won't lie, that's crazy. A clip circulating social media sees Usher serenading Nope actress who plays into the performance, sings along, and dances with the There Goes My Baby singer. Palmer is dressed to the nines for the concert at Usher's Las Vegas Red. That was at his residency? That's crazy. Usher's Las Vegas residency in a black bodysuit and sheer dress. The clip eventually reached Jackson, Palmer's boyfriend and the father of her child, who commented on Twitter, seemingly shaming Palmer for the outfit. Jackson quote-tweeted the video with the caption, "It's the outfit though, you a mom." Since commenting on the video, Jackson has been slammed on social media by fans, calling him insecure and corny, but the fitness instructor continued to double down the remarks, saying, or tweeting, "We live in a generation where a man of the family doesn't want the wife and mother to his kids to showcase booty cheeks to please others, and he gets told how much of a hater he is," Jackson wrote in a follow-up tweet. "This is my family and my reputation. I have standards and morals to what I believe. I rest my case." Palmer has not publicly commented on the debate or responded to Jackson's tweets. Reps for Palmer did not immediately respond to EW's request for comment. Now, to be fair, they have a highly private relationship. I'm reading as I continue down this article. And Palmer released her pregnancy during her SNL monologue, but otherwise shares few pictures of her boyfriend and son. Alongside the first photo of her newborn, Palmer explained, "I'm not hiding the world from my son. I'm hiding my son from the world," which I'm assuming is that cringy ass Drake line, if I'm being honest. Which I will say does have credence. I will say it does have credence in the sense of celebrity kids do face the impact of their parents' celebrity status, to be fair. Honestly, I could also tie in that Adam 22. Yeah, we going. This is gonna be a July where we just tie in all these knots. All right. So next, basically, all right. I'll just run through what I think. All right, because isn't that what we're here for? Isn't that what we're all doing here? Just waiting. But nah, deadass. Oh, well, I never even talked about because the funny part of this was just the fact that the Boondocks creator, and this I care about this more than the entire situation. The Boondocks creator responded to this, or one of the creators responded to this, and was all like, "This actually happened, and that's why I was the inspiration for that Usher episode of Boondocks." And then he came, he talked on an interview, and he was all like, "Yeah, this basically what happened is that me and my wife or ex-wife were at dinner, we're already arguing, having issues, and then Usher walks in, and her whole demeanor changes. She goes up to go and talk to him when we're supposed to be leaving and all that, blah, blah, blah." And I'm just like geeking. And then videos and other stories start coming, and we find out this nigga Usher been doing this. He's been pressing people. All right? Now, all y'all people is all like, "Man, Usher just wants to help y'all niggas. Usher just wants y'all to get married. Cause he be asking niggas, where the ring? Why ain't got a ring yet?" And I'm gonna say this. Nah, this nigga's a villain. Why isn't Usher married? Yeah, no. Y'all niggas were pulling that card on Kevin Samuels, saying that he shouldn't have to care about that because he not married. He shouldn't be a part of that. Why is Usher? The nigga knows what he's doing. He knows he's being a villain. He enjoys that. All right. For what reason is that nigga walking down trying to touch girls? This nigga got 6-packs and shit. All right. Then nigga try to do the same thing to Sweetie or one of those other one of the Migos girlfriends. I think it was not Sweetie. It wasn't Cardi B. It was somebody. That nigga tried to do the same thing, and she was like, "I'm good," because she already was. It just happened to Keke, and this nigga was doing it again. All right. Y'all niggas saying we should hold men accountable, but the men that are at issue, y'all not trying to let them be accountable because they're hot, because they can sing, because they can dance. This is crazy. Chris Brown's still famous. Shout out now. Let me stop. All right. Put the burner down. I'm done cooking. That's crazy. Turn the burner down. I'm done cooking. For real, a part of me, this is the like more conservative, a part of me does agree that if you're in a relationship with somebody, And hear what I'm saying. You're in a relationship with somebody. I do think what you wear, to an extent, either does show a part of how both parties see their relationship, and especially if one party is not in agreement, that's an issue. Now, I don't know to what level this nigga Darius and Kiki are, to be dead ass. But to my knowledge, at most they're just dating. So the wife shit is kind of drag. The girlfriend, I will say this started the controversy where it was like you shouldn't give anybody wife privileges if you're not their wife and whatnot. And I'm just gonna say that now. Whoa, that's crazy. That's crazy. That's a crazy thing to say, because why would I want to make you a wife if you can't even like what are you talking about? What? And what is wife privileges over quote unquote girlfriend thing? Like what are you guys talking about? That's just something that like somebody says and then like they don't realize it, because let's say a man separated what quote unquote husband privileges and boyfriend privileges were. I feel as though that would be like the dumbest thing to hear. Because then it's be like, oh yeah, nah, I can't buy you that purse. Your spending limit as a girlfriend is only $50. That purse is $55. And we're not even talking about plus tax. We're not even talking about plus tax. like please please respect yourselves. That shit sounded stupid. But yeah, I will say, and this is the thing that almost every single person who I know for the most part has said that aren't like be having issues with like women in general. I think it shouldn't have posted about this. Like this was not. I don't, and this is gonna feel like every single story since or past this, besides the Adam 22 one. That nigga just wild. But I just don't understand why there has to be like a validation from social media, or like not even validation, a conversation with social media about your relationship. And I feel like that's what it feels like it's just divulging to. Because why the hell are you coming onto social media saying, but you're a mom though? Nigga, don't you have her number? Did you not know that she was going? I'll say this. Nigga, if you are together, did you not know that she was going and that's what she was going to be wearing? Or were y'all niggas beefing and that's why she did that? Or, hear me out. All right, let me cook. I got something in the pot real quick. All right. Maybe like this, at this point, I'm just naming situations. By the way, like possible, plausible situations, like because it's like in my head, I don't understand how if you guys are together, like that's what I'm saying. If they're not together and she's doing this, nigga, yes, she's a mom, but it's not your place to respond on that. I feel like, if anything, that's something that's 100% a private conversation. This nigga just on some tip. And if anything, if y'all niggas seen the Boondocks, it's basically what Tom was doing. That nigga was just on tip. All right, he was a little bit gassing up the little Usher joint. Like, I'm gonna let you know. I won't lie. My chick gets starstruck. Depending on the star, I'm gonna be on that shit. Like, I'm not gonna complain, but I'm gonna joke. I'm gonna piss her off a little bit with it, because it's like, if I was in the other situation, right, and Ice Spice came and she was just trying to throw it on me, freaking Buck Nasty style, I would be the one in trouble. In fact, when Chance the Rapper went to Jamaica, all right, and that nigga was getting, when that nigga was put in a ass sandwich, all right, an ass sandwich. All right? That nigga was putting an ass sandwich. Everybody, like, before his wife even said anything, hella Twitter people, all right, hella Twitter people was on his ass, attacking him, saying, I thought he loved his wife. I thought he loved his wife. All right. Now look. Then later, his wife actually did say something that was shown that there was an issue with it. My thing is that, in my belief, I don't believe. I always be believing in relationships. Like, I'm not gonna judge somebody else's relationships because, especially famous people, I've been finding out more and more. These niggas is like, they just be on some shit. They be wild. Like, dead ass famous people do not be caring about y'all niggas shit. I don't know what you I don't know what you want me to say to that, man. Like, famous people are just different. In the sense of like, I've seen so much more, like when I talked about the Adam Levine situation, so much more open relationships type stuff and things to that nature, or even like maybe not fully open, whether it's just one person only gets to have the open relationship aspect, or just one, or it's not like they don't go all the way to that with that open relationship extent, or maybe it's only like one partner that they both all that different type of stuff. So I don't really like, I don't even like be guessing, trying to guess with those things. But yeah, nah, the Kiki thing, I don't know. I feel like the man was definitely he was definitely dragging a little bit. I will sit here and say that if we're being dead ass and we're being honest, we know with conventional knowledge, yes, regular moms, and that's why I'm saying regular moms, like she's a celebrity, so it's more okay for them. All right, y'all niggas with y'all people with regular jobs and regular things. All right, where nowadays they care about their brand and they be firing people. All right, yes, that is not something that you should be wearing. Like, I'm not saying anywhere, but like to certain places, to certain things, yes, you can't just be wearing that shit. And then as a mom, you can, like, they're not letting you walk into a school just like that. Like, to an extent, I can be like, that's well, like we can be dead ass. Now, also we can be like, that's a concert, nigga. And according to recent events, I don't even know that's your girl. Respectfully, respectfully. But that's why I'm like, he addressed her as mom in the first one. He didn't say my girl, my wife. Nah, he addressed her as just mom at first, and then randomly, then nigga, she gets leveled up in the conversation. Okay, my wife. Okay, all right, fine. Well, I'm just gonna be like that. Then for the Jonah Hill situation, all right, I'm gonna go in that order. Then we can talk about the Bebe joint. If we got time, we'll talk about the whole Adam 22 joint. All right. So this one really blew. This, like, when this joint came out, because this came out hot, feeling like kind of hot off the Keke Palmer joint. All right. And when this joint came out, it did kind of blow me because I was like, I don't I don't even understand what the issue, where people were like taking the girl's side on this. Like for Kiki's, that was easy enough. Like, and then number two, I'm not even gonna talk crazy about somebody else's relationship. That's simple enough. But for this one, it really blew me, and the way that people tried to use it just to fit that the narrative was kind of nasty after, like especially at first. After that, I went and I started doing a little bit more deep dive into the term that really blew me, which was therapy speak. But let's say let's just bring it up. Basically, what it was is that Jonah Hill has an ex, right? and she was a swimmer or a surfer, surf instructor, swimmer, all that. And that's actually how they like matched or started talking. Jonah Hill swiped or messaged her on Instagram, replying either to her story or one of her pictures, and that's what got them to talk. After that, they dated for like about a year and whatnot, a year, like a little over a year and whatnot, and they were chatting. And essentially, after they already broke up, Jonah Hill already moved on. He's actually, I believe, married. I know that his wife actually, or wife slash girlfriend, has also already they've had a kid, and they're together and happy. Then his ex decides to release this, and her words was that he abused her. Like this was abuse. This is manipulation, gaslighting, and abuse. Those were her words. Number one, can like I'm gonna really need people to like if they're going or like if they're gonna throw in such harsh accusations, and I'm not even a big Jonah Hill nigga. Like besides the 21, 22 Jump Street shit, I'm not even a big Jonah Hill nigga. I seen that shitty ass fucking movie he tried to make about him marrying a black girl and the issue like that. That was an ass movie, bro. I'm not even gonna like. At least the trailer was terrible. Like I'm not even a big Jonah Hill guy in this era of his like career. And like, god damn, like this is a bad like what the fuck are you talking about? But basically, she does that. And my first issue is that there was for some reason off all those the people who immediately just jumped on her bandwagon. There was no pushback on the word abuse and manipulation and even to an extent gaslight. And I think that was weird because within a year plus relationship, and she is bringing up screenshots that are out of order, out of context, and does not show the grander scope of the conversation. And the worst part about it, as days went on and she continued to post screenshots, it actually looked dumber from her side, which we'll get into. But it was just like the first day, and the therapy speak accusation kind of got me because I was very blown. Where it was like, because the idea of therapy speak apparently is the concept that it's possible that, or essentially the way therapists talk to their clients in order to, I guess, convince them, enlighten them, help them through certain things is through a I guess a very calming voice and a very deliberate set of words that are meant to not trigger and to an extent kind of make people like help them do or realize something, right? And in that sense, it can still be used in order to manipulate, quote unquote, people into doing something. And I will say that at first I was like more against, and it's because the first person who I heard talk about this was actually fucking dumb. Like I'll just say it as simply as it is. It was dumb. Let me see. Found it. I'm looking on this Abba and Preach video. I'll read some of the text messages as well. I'll read it real quick. The first one was plain. The first one that she posted, and she said, "Fuck it." This is the text message, and it's all Jonah. Plain and simple. If you need surfing with men, boundaryless inappropriate friendships with men, to model, to post pictures of yourself in a bathing suit, to post sexual pictures, friendships with women who are in unstable places from wild recent past, beyond getting lunch or coffee or something respectable. I am not the right partner for you. If these things bring you to a place of happiness, I support it. There will be no hard feelings. These are my boundaries for a romantic partnership. My boundaries with you based on the ways these actions have hurt our trust. And you see, the problem because this is the text that people were using to say it was therapy speak, because they're saying that it was an inappropriate use of boundaries. And my issue with this is because is that last fucking sentence. My boundary, these are my boundaries for a romantic partnership. My boundaries with you based on the ways these actions have hurt our trust. Like when I and a good amount of guys read Reddit, we don't just think, like I said, she's a surfer and everything. We don't just think, oh, this came out of nowhere. Because this is not, it wasn't like, oh, it was immediately when they started dating or nothing. December 2nd, 2021. It seemed like there was a good amount of time into a relationship. And with the last fucking drawing, my boundaries based on the ways these actions have hurt our trust, I will say that it wasn't just like, oh, nothing happened. This nigga decided that. Obviously, shit happened. And that's why I was there. And this is what I'm saying, bro. Right now, I'm specifically talking to the guys, to the niggas, bro. I'm specifically talking to you guys. Because I can't talk from a female perspective. However, as a guy, are you gonna tell me that a girl, if you're following a certain girl, if girls randomly be messaging you or texting your like or message or commenting certain things on your post, all your girls are just chill with that? Look, and look, if she is, that's fine. All right, that means you're winning, King. Like 100%. However, from what I see, because even if these are all insecurities, I feel as though in most relationships, you're supposed to work through insecurities together. Whether that means trying to limit the things that you do that may make your partner feel insecure, or trying to reason with them why that shouldn't make them insecure at all. I don't understand why, for some reason nowadays for guys, that's not as allowed. Or at least it's not seen as that. Jonah then continues saying, take some, and this is again, random screenshots. Doesn't show any of the conversation or any of the actions that he is specifically talking about. But he says, take some accountability and operate with respect. It's that simple, because I'm tired of your attitude towards surf culture, that contest in that place, because I'm tired of your attitude towards surf culture, that contest in that place. So, and I assume there's supposed to be commas besides all those, because I deserve respect, period. I've been more than patient, and then shit like this is still here. Fuck that contest, fuck that place, fuck not respecting me, always in every situation within surf culture, or you don't get it. And you don't get me, it's hurtful and unacceptable to me. Get it? I don't know if you get it or care or give a shit about that shit more than me, even after Dr. Stern has said it loud and clear. And Dr. Stern, she ends up saying within her story post, Dr. Stern is a couples therapist that they've been seeing once a week for about 4 months. And then this is where this is a TikTok therapist. And I'm going to show you a YouTube therapist that I actually respect and actually said it in a way that I understood.
I'm a therapist, okay?
This is Abba. Yeah, this is Abba and
Johan
Preach.
Hill was using therapy speak to control his girlfriend Sarah, his now ex-girlfriend. And it's important that we go over this misuse of therapy language, which is kind of a thing these days, and how it can be super problematic as it masks controlling behavior under a commonly accepted positive concept, in this case, boundaries, making it harder for the person on the receiving end, Sarah, to challenge it. Okay, so Jonah is basically telling his professional surfer girlfriend, I am not going to be with you if you surf with men, have boundaryless friendships with men, model, post pictures in a bathing suit, or post...
Mind you, this nigga skipped over the word boundaryless, inappropriate friendships with men. All right? Because this nigga doesn't see the point of in highlighting it. And look, I'm not here to say that there are men that do not take their insecurities over the wall and do that stupid shit. No, that's not what I'm arguing. Because I would argue that there's also some women that do that. And like what I don't understand why people want to argue extremes and argue like that's the case for everything. It's not. That's it.
Suggestive pictures and are friends with women who are in unstable.
Mind you, this nigga also, Jonah Hill said sexual pictures. This guy says suggestive pictures. If anything, I would argue you're using therapy speak, nigga. What the fuck are you talking about?
Places. He goes on to say that these are my boundaries for a romantic relationship. Jonah's use of the term boundaries in this message is a misuse of the concept. A boundary is a healthy limit a person sets for themselves to protect their well-being and integrity.
All right, and why would you argue that isn't a protection of his integrity? Is my issue. Why do you think that's not a protection of his integrity? What do you think integrity means? What do you think his integrity
It is a rule or guideline that one creates to identify reasonable, safe, and permissible ways for others to behave towards them and how they'll respond when someone passes those limits. However, in the message Jonah sent to Sarah, he is not setting boundaries that protect his emotional well-being. Instead, he is dictating what behavior...
Mind you, this nigga also said integrity, but now he's only saying it's emotional. And I would argue, and this is for a lot of guys that aren't cucks, shout out Adam, I would argue that emotionally, niggas can't take, like that Boondocks episode with the Usher shit. There was that waiter that when Tom's wife went up and started talking to Usher, that nigga was all like, wouldn't let that shit happen to me. I'll let you know, nigga. Like just like how a girl's emotional well-being would be tied if a guy was cheating, a guy's emotional well-being would be tied to a girl who's cheating. And look, even if you're saying cheating might be too far and nobody was cheating in this situation, you can understand that how close/far that is. Because you got to keep in mind, some people don't see office flirting as cheating. Some people do.
And friendships Sarah is permitted to have. He's essentially instructing Sarah on who she can be friends with, what she can do professionally.
All right. Again, he says he's instructed Sarah on who she can be friends with. No, he is not. He quite clearly said you can go still hang out with your past friends. However, doing something buck wild with them is crazy. Like that's what he says. He said beyond coffee, lunch. Like he quite literally makes sure that he notes that it'd be something crazy that he's not okay with.
And how she can show up online. This is not an example of healthy boundary setting. Instead, it reflects an attempt at control. It demonstrates a lack of respect for...
And look, I guess I'm going to be the one that says it here. Marriage is a balance of powers, therefore a balance of control.
Sarah's
all right, marriage, relationships, all of that. Balance of powers, therefore a balance of controls. That's why you end up where even friendships where you can where some people can argue where there's a quote unquote leader because one person just then tends to be the one that takes control.
Autonomy and individuality.
A boundary doesn't just have to be about yourself. It can be about your relationship. It can be about your kids. It can be even about your property. It can be about a different
This is Abba from
You guys are not
Abba
calling
and
it boundary.
Preach.
If you guys are seeing somebody, you're in a relationship, and you find out your partner is still having constant conversations with their ex about your current relationship, a lot of people gonna feel uncomfortable with that. And you,
right? That's another one. If your partner is talking to their ex, right, about your current relationship, you're not getting tight. What are we talking about? Like
you say, I'm not down with that. That's a boundary. It's okay to say that. People talk about autonomy. This is where like this feminist lingo goes a bit full retard. When you get in a relationship,
I don't even think it's feminist lingo. I'm gonna take it upon myself where now I'm not even gonna refer to the newer wave because this is what I'm saying. I agree with first, second. I don't know whether this is fourth wave or still within third wave. If this is still within third wave, then I don't agree. But I agree. When I looked into some of the research, I actually do agree with third wave feminist lingo. I would argue I don't agree with fourth wave, because fourth wave, along with other movements, just are full of people who are extremists. And when groups live together, there has to be an idea of various compromises until the ultimate goals can be reached. The lack of a willingness to even see compromise, I think, is an issue. Therefore, I would argue that along with just dumb people ruining movements, and those movements being afraid to cast out those dumb people who are ruining their movements. And that's within the black movement, BLM, and within other movements that technically, since I'm not really in those groups, I can't directly say, but we know you can probably guess a few of them. I feel as though the fact that we just have to say that, have to ignore it, but then for some reason the other side thinks it's fit to call out the extremists again on the other end of the spectrum, I think is very bad for discourse.
Guess what? There are certain things you just can't do anymore. What those things are will depend on how you negotiate that with your partner, right? But
that's why I said balance of powers, balance of control, negotiations. I've always, and this is a nasty word for it, I just say it because it geeks. In a relationship, y'all niggas are training each other. And for a successful relationship, it has to be successful training to the other person's habits, ideas, way of thinking, and everything. Because you guys are coming from different backgrounds. Even if you guys are like, you could argue even people from the same cultures are still different enough to where that would matter. So there's just a lot of that I don't think people understand.
there's going to be certain things you can't do no more. So what was the list here? Surfing with men. Okay. So she's a surfer. He doesn't feel comfortable surfing men. On most cases, I would say, like, why is that a boundary you would be setting? But I also don't know the context of the relationship. Has she slept with a bunch of these guys? Mm-hmm. Has she been sending flirty messages, really going back and forth in the past, right? People flirt with a lot of the people that they work with or do stuff with. I don't know. I'm not saying that is what happened. What I'm saying is we don't know what the confines of the dynamic is like.
And mind you, she doesn't show it. Like, if I'm going to be saying some shit, I'm going to show proof. It's like, it is obvious admission of facts. Like, she's not even like, because later, oh my God, later when she starts posting more, like these guys did their video kind of early. They didn't do it when she was still posting
boundaryless,
more.
inappropriate friendships with men. Why is he saying that? Maybe those men are sending messages that are completely inappropriate to somebody in a relationship. You should be able to have male friends, but if they're sending messages to you like that, can you not understand why a partner might feel some type of way? Or maybe the opposite is true. Maybe she's had these friends since childhood. There's never been anything weird, and Jonah's just mad insecure. I don't know. But neither do any of you at home. Nobody knows. That's the reality.
Jonah's message is more about...
All right, and that is the key thing. All right, I'm not sitting here pretending like I know the situation. In fact, I brought up multiple situations that it could be. I even said maybe this nigga's insecure. Like, mad insecure. And at that point, my advice to people who are with an insecure partner is to leave that insecure partner. Therefore, if he is telling you that it is okay for you to leave the relationship and he respects your decision,
restricting Sarah's behavior to suit his comfort levels and insecurities rather than expressing his feelings or needs in a healthy manner. A healthier and less manipulative approach might be for Jonah to express how Sarah's actions make him feel without using ultimatums about what she should or should not do. Side note.
How do you know that conversation didn't happen? Apparently these people have been going to therapy. How do you know it just started with an ultimatum?
This was like 4 months.
How do you know this is born from insecurity, not from the fact that Sarah can be flagrantly inappropriate? I'm not saying it's not insecurity, but how do you know? How does anybody know? That's why I'm confused when this whole thing fucking unfolded, because I'm like, I don't know these people. Y'all don't know these people, so why is everybody being a TikTok detective like they've been sniffing Blue's Clues and got all the answers?
I think he did a pretty good job. My boundaries are this. I don't like that. I don't like that. I don't like that. I don't like that. Isn't that what we wanted? People to express themselves? people to be able to just say what they want, not keep that inside, not bottle up. That's what he did. Now, Sarah has a choice to stay or to get. That's it.
Yeah, but they're probably going to say that ultimatums are manipulative or controlling.
Sure. And I don't think it's a bad thing. You know what? Yes, you're right. But it's not inherently bad. It's not inherently bad. Because at some point, if you keep fucking up, someone's going to get. And then it's okay.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, I'm going to be like, hey, you know what? If you keep doing this shit, I'm going to leave.
That's an ultimatum.
And that's an ultimatum. And I think an ultimatum is valid. If you get in a relationship and then you keep your online account of Tinder or whatever open, because someone might give you an ultimatum to shut that shit down. And I think it's valid.
All right. And that's really all of that. I will say I do like a specific YouTuber. I watch her stuff quite a lot. Her name is Anna Psychology. I feel like I've been watching her for over a few years at this point. Like, obviously not like, I haven't been super duper watching her stuff for over years, but I will say it has been more than a year. And if I see something that just interests me, like intellectually, or I'll watch it. I don't really care. So this was what she talks about. Her video is titled, Let's Talk Weaponization of Therapy Speak.
Hi, I'm Anna.
And within this video, because I don't know if I'm going to be playing this whole thing, because we still have at least one more topic, if not two more, if I can fit the Adam 22 situation. We still have at least one more topic, and I don't want this to go on too long. This was interesting for me, because I had already watched that Abba and Preach video. I'd watched another video, and when she had dropped her video, I had, for some reason, just because when I usually hear her, we kind of agree on a lot of things. It's not like, because I also come from but I like being in a philosopher and to an extent a psychology. I like doing that type of research from time to time and watching those types of videos. So I usually have or come to similar like conclusions or even just talking points as her. I don't feel like she's ever really just leading you to a specific conclusion rather than just like more of an explanation of things. I felt like for this one, it was a little bit more targeted, but she does, that's why I want to say she does clearly set that she might be wrong and there could be other situations in place. And she's just talking about the ability of therapy speak to be weaponized. But for me, especially as I feel like she did it early in the video, like within the first 5 minutes, and this is an 18-minute long video, she did it early where she immediately just, if you can feel that she's more on Jonah Hill's ex's side. Mind you, I don't know if I really said this. I didn't finish the video, but the Jonah Hill's ex quietly said that she waited to reveal this after the baby and everything, because at least according to her, she didn't want to do this while the baby was there, because it might be some things. However, later when she reveals more text messages, it shows that she was actually hurt more that they couldn't because they did end up breaking up, but they still ended up continuing talking. And then after, when they're still talking, Jonas tries to let her know, easy essentially, that, hey, I'm actually talking to somebody else right now. It's going really well. I think we're gonna start being together, and I just want to let you know because I didn't want you to feel like a certain type of way and whatever. And then she ends up not taking it well, and at least from what I can see, I can argue. You can argue that maybe that was what made her, that led her down that path. But let's watch part of this Anna Psychology video. I'll skip around and see where I want to go.
Hi, I'm Anna, a clinical psychology doctoral intern, and today we're going to be talking about therapy speak. Therapists and therapy clients have learned to communicate with other people.
And tonight, I'll see you this weekend at my housewarming, right?
To be radically honest,
this is a TikTok where it says that therapy speaks friend.
On further reflection, it has come to my attention that I'm no longer able to spend time with your friend group because I find them to be insufferable and, quite frankly, toxic. In order for us to spend more time together, it's going to have to be one-on-one outside of them.
See, I just don't think chicken parm would really...
This is another one. You're serving a party that only talks in therapy speak.
...fill my cup tonight. Let me connect with my inner child. Okay. She wants an egg salad. No bacon. Sorry. No bacon.
Thank you for feeling comfortable to share that with
You just told your therapy speak friend that your dog died.
me, but I will respectfully be withdrawing my engagement on this specific issue in order to maintain the emotional bandwidth required to keep my growth and health and well-being furthering in this current period. So I respect you to go forward with that in your own space, but I will be withdrawing my engagement in this current instance.
When I first heard about the term therapy speak, to tell you the truth, I noticed some feelings of defensiveness come up for me because I was thinking, I'm sure that I at some point on this channel or even with clients have given people sort of a template of how to communicate with others in a way that honors their mental health, because that's a common job of therapists, is to teach people how to effectively communicate with other people. So I've been reflecting on what is bothersome about therapy speak and in what way it's different from just teaching people communication skills. And here's what I noticed. There's a malignant underbelly to therapy speak in which people use it in a very hyper-individualistic way. They use it in a way that feels very inauthentic and unnatural, in a way in which it kind of feels like they're turning off their empathy for the person that they're speaking to. And it is sometimes weaponized by manipulative people. A common example of therapy speak that's been circulating in the past few years is an example of a woman named Anna. I'm not sure where this is from. There have been articles written on it, who was dumped by a friend over text message, and the text message said, I'm in a place where I'm trying to honor my needs and act in alignment with what feels right within the scope of my life, and I'm afraid our friendship doesn't seem to fit in that framework. I can no longer hold the emotional space you've wanted me to, and think the support you need is beyond the scope of what I can offer. Very formal. It's been called like the HRification of therapy speak. We'll get into it. A few days ago, also, Johan Hill's ex recently came out with some texts that are allegedly from him.
And even within this screen, she put the screenshot on the joint and it on her video, and it says Johan Hill text messages, girlfriend Sarah Brady abuse screenshots.
Him, in which she accuses him of being narcissistic and emotionally abusive and essentially weaponizing therapy speak. So the texts go like this. Plain and simple, if you need surfing with men, boundaryless, inappropriate friendships with men, to model, to post pictures of yourself in a bathing suit, to post sexual pictures, friendships with women who are in unstable places and from your wild recent past beyond getting a lunch or coffee or something respectful, I am not the right partner for you. If these things bring you to a place of happiness, I support it and there will be no hard feelings. These are my boundaries for romantic partnership. My boundaries with you based on the ways these actions have hurt our trust. We'll respect you either way, but these are my boundaries of this romantic relationship. Thanks. I'd love to know before the premiere so I'm not put in a position of publicly flaunting our love if my boundaries are going to be continued to be disrespected. That would be hurtful and triggering for me. Take some accountability and operate with respect. It's that simple. It's just constant and doesn't reflect where we're at
she's
or
reading
where
she's reading the various screenshots that were posted.
you want to be. I respect your skill in your surfing. I respect how you want to present yourself. I respect that you're hot and beautiful, and I respect however you want to live, but I also respect myself and what I'm interested in my own, and what I let into my heart and inner circle, so celebrate yourself and your life however you please, and you shine bright, but I don't want to have to deal. Now, you know the drill. I'm not going to speculate on the character of the people involved in this. I don't personally
I do think she did a little bit, but it's fine.
know them. I don't feel comfortable acting like I know them. I did find these texts to be interesting in the context of therapy speak. These texts talk a lot about boundaries. They talk about accountability, respect, trust, getting triggered. Phrasing friendships with women in unstable places to me kind of sounds a little bit like a veiled way of slut-shaming, but...
And you could argue that. 100%. And this is more like that's what got me, because at least for me, when I think of someone who's unstable, I don't think of what they're wearing. I think of a literally unstable human being, whether it's like more emotionally or just like generally unstable person who would be uncomfortable to be around, and you could argue could be dangerous. And that's more where I got upon it.
Maybe that's just me. And they're framed in a very, I love you, but I love me more type of way.
And I understand that. And it's framed in a I love you, but I love me more type of way. And my argument against that would be, at what point would you argue that there should, like, at what point do you think there is no, like, in a relationship, obviously you're supposed to love each other, but do you sacrifice the love that you should have for yourself in that as well? Which one takes priority? Well, you could argue if there even is one that should take priority. I don't know. And again, I'm not a girl, so I don't understand it personally, but I won't say I don't understand it. I get it to an extent. I just don't know how it feels to feel oppressed with clothing in that manner, if that makes sense. For me to understand where she's coming with this. But
When I saw these messages circulating online, I thought, on paper, there's nothing wrong with the structure of these texts. They're formulated as, these are my boundaries, please respect them. It's perfectly okay to set boundaries with people, to tell them what your deal breakers are, and to decide to part ways if there happens to be an incompatibility between your needs and their needs. But when we get into the content of texts like these, it gets a little bit more complicated. Because while, yes, we all have a right to set whatever boundaries we want for ourselves, for other people, I think we're getting to a place in our culture where it's considered that we don't even have to do any sort of introspection or reflection on why our boundaries are the way that they are. There's not a whole lot of, hold on, let me see, is this boundary even appropriate to have? Is this maybe a controlling boundary? Like, telling someone that they can't go surfing with men when their job is to be a surf instructor? Let's think about it.
And that's my issue. I feel as though, like, it was, that's why I get what she meant by I'm not going to even hypothesize about situations. However, I feel as though the idea of trying to take that away is in a sense making the situation of which nothing happened. Assuming that the situation of which nothing happened, which I would argue in most relationships that wouldn't be the case, especially from just like looking at those messages. Because in those messages, he notes that there were actions that she did previously that hurt him, and she never expanded on those actions beyond saying, "Oh, he didn't like certain pictures that I posted." And I'm gonna be honest, be dead ass. If I was him, then she won't show nothing anyways, man. At least from what I seen. The picture that she screenshotted a message of her asking, should I remove this? And I at least to my knowledge, that message didn't even have his reply on it. But it was her in a regular, like, it wasn't even a bikini, like regular swimsuit, and the joint was just giving her a little bit of a wedgie, but she ain't like, her thing wasn't thinking. Like, as unfortunate as it is, her thing wasn't thinking. If I was Jonah Hill, I wouldn't have felt insecure. There's nothing to feel insecure for. She won't show nothing. Like, she won't hiding nothing, but she won't show nothing. SMH. And this, like I said, this joint this topic more interested me to, like, do this little bit of deep dive into the therapy speak shit, just because I never heard the term therapy speak until this shit. And it hurt me because one of my friends, my pals, my buddy, my compadre, my amigos, on the other side of this. And unfortunately, I never actually got to I'm people think I'd be arguing. More of the time, more often than not, I'm more of the person that be trying to understand rather than purely argue. And the argumentative part is just me pushing against your idea. Because I feel as though if you feel as though your idea has credence, when I ask you a question or pull an example that might make your idea or whatever you think wrong, I feel like you should be able to defend it if you believe if it's as consistent as you think. And look, people do. I'd be wrong all the time. I've never been afraid to say I'm wrong. I'm like, damn, I was wrong. However, my thing is that until I'm wrong, I'm right. So you're gonna have to prove me wrong.
See, and you must respect them.
I skipped a little bit into the video a little bit.
Framed as this like be all end all inherently valid.
She's talking about boundaries and how it's framed.
Construct regardless of their content, that everyone must respect our boundaries or else see you later. And I think that's what I found so interesting about those text screenshots that I saw that are allegedly from Johan Hill. It's that I do get the sense that it's kind of coming from this place of power, like these are my boundaries X, Y, and Z, and you must respect them if you want to be with me. No sort of negotiation, no sort of flexibility there. If your boundaries are things like you must treat me with kindness, you cannot yell at me, you have to be there when you say you're going to be there, I think that's perfectly normal content of boundaries. But if your boundaries are more like you can't hang out with women who party or you can't go surfing with other men even though you're a surf instructor, I think no matter how you
and yes, I understand that. However, I would argue that there are circumstances in which you can evaluate people's lives and you can say that based on what you say that you want, whether it's in a relationship and or just goals that you have in life in general, based on what you say you want, the actions that you are doing are unbecoming, and possibly that can be due to the people who are around you. Therefore, if your significant other can point to can point to something reasonable, it doesn't have to be your significant other. Somebody can point to something reasonable as to why you should either limit. Because that's what I'm saying. He never even said, do not hang out with them. He said, limit your interactions with them in the sense of maybe as my girlfriend, there shouldn't be the need to go out clubbing. Especially with the idea that clubbing has with it. And I will say that we have to stop acting like there are not associations with all of that, similar to how there are associations with strip clubs. And why? Because you can argue, why don't you want me to go to a strip club? Because the woman body is just is an artistic portrayal, and you are demeaning them in the sense of how you identify them. Right? Therefore, your significant other should be able to go to the strip club because it shouldn't have anything. Like if you have an issue with them going to a strip club, then that's a boundary that you should reevaluate. Is that what? I don't understand why we can't ask those types of questions.
Structure that type of content, there's going to be something questionable about it. And therein lies the first issue with therapy speak. It can be weaponized in order to control or manipulate or hurt other people. It's not therapy speak itself that's the problem. The problem becomes the way that certain people use it as a weapon. Therapy speak is like any other tool. Let's say the tool is a fork. A fork can be used to help you eat lunch, or it can be used as a weapon. It's not on the fork. The fork is not created as a weapon. It's created to help you for a specific task.
Hey, yo, low key. That was a gun advocacy joint. I don't know if she just realized what she did, but it's fine. I'm gonna skip over it. I will say, if you guys do want to go through the entire video, Anna Psychology is her YouTube name. Let's talk weaponization of therapy speak. Overall, I do agree with the premise and the understanding that she comes and the conclusion that she comes with within this. I do think that her example of Johan Hill's was a little bit ignoring of even general relationship context and general texting norms, maybe you could argue. But ultimately, I don't think she did that purposely. Like, she was really trying to do that. I think that she actually did come at it with reasonably. Let me see. Bebe Rexha. We'll do the Bebe Rexha one, and then we'll save the Adam 22 for next one. Bebe Rexha. I've never heard of her. I'm going to play apparently her song "In the Name of Love." 583 Hit Zone, best of 2016 is what it's saying. It's made by her and Martin Garrix. Or Garrix. I'll play a little bit as I try and find a better story.
If I told you this was only gonna hurt, if I warned you that the fire's gonna burn, would you walk in? Would you let me do it first? Do it all in the name of love.
This is from 6 years ago, by the way.
Lead you even when you're blind in the darkness.
I won't lie, it doesn't start off bad. It sounds like a pretty good song. But this is from people.com, probably associated with People magazine. Yep. Bebe Rexha shares text seemingly from boyfriend Kenyan Safari criticizing her weight and hinting at breakup. And what he says, I'm just going to skip though. It was written by Jack Irvin. I'm not going to really get into that, but I really just want to get to the post, but we'll read a little bit. Are Bebe Rexha and her boyfriend Keon still together over the weekend? I'm good. Blues singer-songwriter shared a screenshot of a text message seemingly sent by Safari about critical comments made about her recent weight gain that may have led to discussion of a breakup. Can I see the screenshots? Nope. People does not have the screenshots. All right, let's switch to another one. All right, bet. Pop Crave was the @ that it came from. Twitter apparently, this is a random thing. Twitter added a community note to Ice Spice's music video that was posted, in which there's a minor who dances provocatively within the video. She's 16. I will say it was worse that people kept on linking all her fucking stuff, like her TikTok, her IGs and whatnot, when they were like trying to prove that she was 16. I'm like, yes, good job. You basically doxed a 16-year-old. Way to fucking go. But people are dumb. Like, I liked one tweet and it was just like, oh, she's sick. One of the people dancing is 16. I was like, one of the people dancing is 16. Saw in the comments, found out who it was, a girl on the table, moved on. People started ODing it after that. And I do think that this is partially, this is the issue that we're going to find with the way that Twitter is going to be monetized and whatnot. And I'll talk about that later. I have not been in agreement with a lot of Elon's policies since taking over Twitter. But we'll go. Bebe, according to Pop Crave, this is a tweet. Bebe Rexha seems to have broken up with boyfriend Keon Safari and shares text of him calling out her weight gain. And I'm gonna read the text straight from him, and this is a screenshot that she posted. Hey, I never said you weren't beautiful, and I never said I didn't love you. In fact, I said how beautiful you are and how much I loved you. But I've always said I would be honest with you, and your face was changing, so I told you it was. That was the conversation. Oh, he put ... That was the conversation we were having, and you asked, because I care. Because I care. Would you have rather I lied to you? You gained 35 pounds. Obviously, you gained weight, and your face changes. Should I just pretend it didn't happen and just say okay? Come on, I gained 3 pounds, and you call me chubs and fat. Doesn't mean you don't love me. If you're trying to find reasons to break up, this makes sense. But it's not the real reason. If you're unhappy with me / yourself / with life and don't see a future with us, then that's okay, and that's the reason. Don't use anything like that to weaponize your anger or anxiety or any insecurity you may have. You know I've always found you to be beautiful and loved you no matter what. I think it's important for you to think about things and write things down, speak to a therapist, and do this retreat thing to get to the root of the problem. Let me know if you'd like to speak, if you need more clarity. Love you. Now, within that, there was a whole freaking thing. And I would say a majority of people, from what I've seen, was actually on his side, specifically because of the fact that she did have what you would say a reasonable amount of weight gain, which is 35 pounds. That's number one. Number two, she's the one that asked him if she's gained any weight, and he just responded honestly. And number three, according to him, and she has not denied it, she actually makes fun of his weight. And she pokes, to the point where she pokes fun at it, calling him chubs and fat. Now, I seen people come and attack Keke's boyfriend Insecurities. I come here and I seen people attack Jonah Hill's Insecurities. I didn't see anybody attack her insecurities. I saw people just say that she was wrong. And that's my issue. That's it. Like, there's not even that much to talk about for this. Because there's a lot. All of this was this entire episode is a whole lot of nothing. This episode is really about how people view insecurities from different sides of relationships and how dumb it can and how far it can go down the rabbit hole. Because whenever it's not a dumb insecurity and people are pushed on it and people are asked to be consistent, there's no consistency. All right. The grander thing about all of this is that whenever there's an issue, please, about your relationship, you got to learn how to shut the fuck up. That's it. That's about it. Like, unless something really critical is happening, I don't like whether it was Keke's boyfriend, Jonah Hill's ex, or Bebe Rexha. None of this stuff needed to be put on social media because none of them were serious enough for social media. There was nothing done. There was nothing that happened. All right. I guess that's all, man. This is just Nana. I'm clocking out. I don't know what I'm gonna title this joint, but I'm clocking out. I gotta go clean. All right. I got shit to do. I got shit to do too. And I'm out.
That was the Just Talking Podcast.